15 seconds. Guidance is internal. 12, 11, 10, 9. Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome everyone to our Game Week 22 preview. Jason, the fixtures are coming in hot. Nice quick mid-week game week coming up.
It's been pretty crazy.
Exactly. Game week 21, we did fairly okay. I had maybe a mild green arrow. Still kind of waiting on the results though. How about yourself, Jason?
Yeah, small red arrow. I think I went down from like 135k to like 145 or something like that. So nothing terrible. I got my captain choice wrong, unfortunately, and also had some unfortunate transfers and benchings. But overall, I think I survived. It was okay.
Okay. On this game week preview, we'll kind of go over a quick recap, our talking points on game week 21, show you guys our watch list again, talk a little bit about the schedule, give you guys the checklist for how to obtain green arrows, and our final recommendations. But before we get on, just want to quickly shout out Fantasy Football Scout. All our statistics are going to be coming from their website. Link's going to be in the description. Also, if you guys like the video, give us a like, comment, and subscribe. You can also follow us on Twitter. The link will be in the description. Okay, Jason, tell me a little bit about what you saw in Game Week 21.
Yeah, first things first. Last week I recommended it's probably time to get out of Patrick Bamford. I was looking at Calvert-Lewin and his strong schedule, so that's the move I kind of recommended. That kind of blew up in my face. Bamford, 1 goal, 2 assists with a great performance against Leicester, which I really did not see coming. I think going forward is going to be interesting to see. Do we stick with Bamford now? Like, our lead's really back, or is this kind of a blip on the radar and their poor form is going to continue? Tough to say right now. I'm not quite sure how that one's going to go, but he definitely made me look pretty foolish there.
Yeah, he definitely did well. He took his chances. He had basically had 2 shots in the box and finished them well. He finished his chance and then 2 assists.
Yep. Yeah. Beyond that, Aston Villa beat Southampton 1-0. Remained strong. Emiliano Martinez with max bonus and Jack Grealish another assist. Ollie Watkins did have some nice shots, but unfortunately blanked. But, I still like him and Villa going forward. I think they look great with Ross Barkley back. That's still a team I want to remain invested in.
Exactly. Next, Spurs kind of struggled.
Yeah. The game just finished up right before we started filming this, but overall, I was not very impressed with them. Gareth Bale got yanked after doing absolutely nothing. I think Son had a couple of shots that I saw, but nothing too crazy. They're pretty a little more speculative than anything else. Defensively, they keep struggling. I think Brighton probably should have scored more goals and not just the one that they did. So Spurs were a bit fortunate in that regard. I think Son is still a hold for me. I think he'll get chances, they'll get better, and who knows how long Kane's actually out. But beyond Son right now, I'd probably want to avoid Spurs.
Yeah, I think Bale had a poor performance. I'd like to see Lucas starting and see what the team does with it like that.
That'd be more interesting.
On the upside, Salah did have an excellent brace today. Second goal was quite nice. First one was good, but defense could have done better. Overall, it's good to see Salah back on the score sheet. We saw him score in the FA Cup, and his form kind of continues in the Prem.
Yep. He's definitely back.
Yeah. Then Chelsea, we kind of see Tuchel said he wanted to kind of check out the overall team and it seems like he's doing that. He's making some changes. We still don't know what he wants specifically in a starting 11. They definitely played better when Pulisic came on and Tammy went to the bench and Werner went more to the central role. Obviously, Ziyech didn't play, so we're going to kind of watch. Still not 100% sure. Overall, I thought that this game week, Hudson-Odoi was an excellent addition, or had an excellent match, as well as Mason Mount. Jason, what's your thoughts? Chelsea.
Yeah, I think one big thing that stuck out to me was Ben Chilwell getting benched for Marcos Alonso. I thought Chilwell was like the one guy who was going to be safe to bank on, but even that's not true. So, yeah, like you said, for me, Callum Hudson-Odoi seems like the most consistent performer in the new look Chelsea so far. But I think for me, for as far as investment, it's still a wait and see approach. We gotta let the dust settle and really figure out what Tuchel's going to be doing.
Okay, and kind of speaking of rotations, Manchester City suffered from that, specifically Cancelo and Stones. Jason, is this a worry for you?
I mean, it sucked that they both got rotated in the same week. Same with Raheem Sterling was also benched. But I think going forward is probably a good thing because now we know their rotations happen now. Hopefully they're all ready to play at least 3-4 games in a row going forward. So rotation's always going to be a worry at City. We knew it was going to happen eventually. So I think for owners of Cancelo, I think one of the good news is that City didn't really create a ton of chances in that match. They definitely seemed to struggle a bit offensively, so I think they really missed Cancelo's creativity.
Okay. Everton healthy again, but they didn't do all that great against Newcastle. Shut out 2-0. Thoughts on this, Everton?
Yeah, I was thinking they were all ready to go. Newcastle have been pathetic in recent weeks. Everton, they got healthy. They haven't looked 100% yet, but I thought, this would be the turning point.
Yeah.
Clearly that did not happen. Everton struggled. I think Calvert-Lewin had one shot on target and one chance created, I want to say.
Exactly,
So,
yeah. And then, James had a chance too. I thought in the first half they had more, they had some chances. Even Richarlison had some chances too. I'm still high on this team, actually. I think they will turn it around.
Yeah, I think they got 2 good fixtures in the next 3, so they definitely have the opportunity to kind of right the ship. And then for someone like me who's invested in Calvert-Lewin, I think he's definitely a hold right now if you have him.
Okay. Moving on to our teams, you can see I kind of took a hit, added Gundogan and Ollie Watkins, took out Bamford and Smith Rowe. So not the best taking a hit. It kind of just shows you why it's not always a great idea to take hits. My defense kind of helped me out. I believe I have a little bit of a green arrow still in that 250k range, but Live FPL said calculating for my post auto subs, so something different. I wasn't used to seeing that one.
Yeah, it looks like your post auto subs is not going to be very friendly either.
Overall, I think I like my formation of my team. I think I'm going to keep Lacazette for now. I don't really see myself making... I might make a change. I don't really see... If anything, I might consider taking out Lacazette. But I might roll with this team in the midweek.
Okay.
Jason, how'd you do?
Small red arrow down to 148k or so from 135, I think. So, pretty much treading water this week. Obviously, my double city defense of Stones and Cancelo getting rotated was horrible. That and my benching of Patrick Bamford. Luckily, Rob Holding's going to come in for me, so I'll get those 8 points into my squad. Other big thing was Gundogan is my captain, but obviously that didn't quite work out. Like we said, Salah is back. I think he's at that point where he's captainable against about anyone at this point. So I think going forward, especially if Mane, I think he's a minor injury, but if Mane is out, Salah does tend to perform well without him. So I think he'd be an auto captain at that point.
Okay. Any thoughts on transfers?
Yeah, I got to figure out my forward situation. I think for now, Watkins and Calvert-Lewin are holds. The big question is, do I do Bamford or do I go with Mikel Antonio? That's the big question I have right now.
Okay.
And I don't know what the answer is at this point after Bamford showing.
Going to the schedule, kind of the same as we've talked about in the past. Any changes that you see?
Yeah, I think Villa and West Ham are going to remain strong for now. Same with Man United. If they can rediscover some form, they definitely have the fixtures to capitalize right now. Like we mentioned with Everton, they have 2 great fixtures in the next 3. And then Liverpool, they have 1 nice fixture followed by a couple tougher ones. But then they, from game week 26 on, they had a pretty nice schedule. So I think, Salah is obviously a hold or a buy if you don't have him yet. I think their defensive options, like Robertson, would definitely be a hold. Even Alexander-Arnold's turning the corner recently, so he might be an alternative option as well.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely like the Everton team, like I kind of said before. I think they're a good they offer excellent differentials to climb up the ranks. All right. It's pretty much the same watch list as usual. I'm definitely have high Harvey Barnes and James Maddison. It looks like they are going to be the ones that are trying to pick up the slack for Vardy. Jason, anyone you want to highlight on here?
Yeah, I would just say if it's between Barnes and Madison for you, I'd lean Harvey Barnes. Madison's been kind of overperforming as expected data recently, whereas Harvey Barnes is a bit more in line. So I think Barnes is definitely more of a threat from a fantasy perspective, and he's a little bit cheaper. So if you're looking for a Leicester player, I think Barnes is the way to go there.
For sure. Anyone else on the watch list you want to talk about?
I guess I can mention Saka real quick. I think he got injured in the warm-ups before the Man United match. So I don't know if he's been updated at all as far as his condition. Coming into this, he had some very nice data. Yeah, it still just says hip injury, 75% chance of playing. So I'd say keep an eye on Saka, but he's definitely a good one to look out for.
Okay. So tell me, Jason, we got some red arrows. We gotta get green arrows for game week 22. Tell me how we do that.
Yeah, first one you got to decide on. I'm still not sure of which way to go. Stick or twist on Bamford. I'm still leaning towards going Mikel Antonio. I think he has better fixtures in the immediate run, and he had been in better form coming into this week before he had faced Liverpool. Alternatively, Ollie Watkins has great fixtures and form right now as well. Then, like I said, Calvert-Lewin doesn't quite have the form yet, but Everton looks like they're on the way back, hopefully. So, yeah, that's a tough one, but figuring out your forward line is going to be pretty important. So making that decision on Bamford right now is going to be pretty key. Second, we had this on here a few times, but we're going to keep banging the drums for Aston Villa and West Ham. They just offer great kind of enabling assets. Vladimir Sufal, Tomas Souček, Antonio, Watkins, Grealish, Martinez. Even Villa defenders on Matt Target's pretty key. These are all just fantastic options that are going to help you afford some of those heavy hitters, and they're going to play way above what their value is in FPL. Chelsea, we mentioned already, but I'll say it again. Let's wait on Chelsea before we invest anything. We just don't quite know how they're going to shape up and look. I do think, they're on the right track with Tuchel right now, but just figuring out who's going to be the clear assets is still we just don't know at this point. So I just wait before you invest anything. Man City, despite the huge rotation this week that destroyed a lot of teams, they do face Burnley this week. They remain strong, especially defensively. I do expect Cancelo to come back into the team for this one to help unlock a deep line Burnley team. Overall, I am still pretty high on City, even without KDB in the team. And Aguero is, I believe, back in training now, so he could be coming into the team as well. So definitely one to keep an eye on there. And then finally, your captain for this week. I think after this performance, you got to say Salah is the standout option. After that, you could pick any City asset really against Burnley. If you want to go defensively with a Cancelo, I feel pretty good about him starting this one, so that's a good option. Alternatively, like a Sterling or a Gundogan's also interesting to me. And then Bruno, I'm kind of backing him to bounce back a little bit against Southampton. They are home to Southampton, they've been kind of struggling a bit recently, not quite having the early season form that saw them as one of the better mid-table sides. So I think Bruno's kind of a sneaky option despite his kind of lack in form in recent weeks.
Right. So I'm going to go ahead and agree with Salah's going to be probably the most popular captain after his brace. So he's going to be your safest pick. Man City, you mentioned the defense. So Burnley have been destroyed by Man City past 3 times they played them. I think 4-0 in the first half of rounds. And 3 clean sheets in a row, if you include like a cup fixture. So a City defender is going to be fairly safe. I think it's going to be fairly safe to say that they are likely to have a clean sheet. And if you want to go to a huge differential, if you have someone like Raheem Sterling, or maybe if you trust a specific Man City midfielder, whether that's like, that's quite the differential, but whether it's like Foden or Gundogan, maybe if you think Ferran Torres is going to start again, that's kind of a huge differential. But Man City, someone in Man City is definitely an excellent captaincy, just given the prior history that the two teams have.
Yeah.
Personally, I think I'll probably play the safe route with Salah. But if I want to go even safer, maybe like a Ruben Diaz. I'm not sure, but yeah, it seems like Salah is going to be mine.
Yeah, I think Salah's my number 1 choice. If we find out that Sadio Mane is still going to be out, Salah goes from, number 1 to like number 1 underlined a few times. You have to have him.
Yep. All right. And finally, our kind of top recommendations. Kind of already big on Bruno Fernandes. I'm surprised about his 2 blinks in a row, I believe. Kind of unfortunate. Antonio, he's an excellent budget option. I don't think he had too many chances today. Correct, yeah.
So. But yeah, his fixtures definitely shape up in the next 3, so I think he'll bounce back.
And then just kind of going on the Leicester in terms of who is going to kind of help the team get the goals with Vardy out. Harvey Barnes is who I like the most. He's had 2 goals, 2 assists in the last 4 game weeks. He's got excellent underlying stats. He gets in the box plenty. So he's a nice budget option to help you afford those higher top tier players. Jason, how about yourself?
Yeah, I think I'll stick with Bruno Fernandes despite his recent struggles. He really wasn't that far away from getting a nice haul against Arsenal. Had a very close free kick, a very close shot, it curled just wide. I think he almost had an assist as well. So, he's been struggling a bit, but, I think he's, still knocking on the door. He's still on penalties. He'll bounce back, and he has the nice fixtures coming up to do it with. Mikel Antonio, he's had a little quiet against Liverpool, but his next 3 fixtures are fantastic. I think he's going to bounce back in a big way. And lastly for me, he doesn't quite have the fixtures to that the other guys do, but Mo Salah definitely has the form, and he's kind of, almost fixture proof, I would say. So I think he has to be on here, despite some of the other players having better fixtures over the next 4.
All right, I think that'll just about do it for this week's episode. Best of luck on getting green arrows again, guys. If you enjoy the content, please leave us a like, subscribe, comment. Our Twitter is also in the description. Jason, any final words?
I would say, it's another short turnaround this week. Let's try and crunch some data over the next day or so before you get your lineup set. Got some big moves to make here. Got to really think about Patrick Bamford and what you want to do with him. but we're almost at the turning point where we're going to have fewer double, like these, 2 games a week. Hopefully get back more to weekend as the European leagues start back up. So a bit more time between deadlines. So we see the light at the end of the tunnel here.
Right. All right. That's it for now. Take care, guys.
All right. See you.